What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is Saturday over here. Hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. Bitcoin, as we speak right now, at about 34.1K area, had a pretty good week overall. I mean, it had a huge pump over the week. So good is an understatement for this week for Bitcoin, as well as for a lot of these cryptos here. A lot of these altcoins, because the main driver of this crypto market, it is still Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up, it will drag quite a bit of the altcoins up with it. Of course, the other direction is true as well. So very important to continue paying attention to Bitcoin. We're going to be taking a look into the charts very quickly because that's my thought process. Even though I trade altcoins, I always look at what's happening in Bitcoin first. Now, the main topics of this post would be about ANKR, ApeCoin, as well as DIONE token, and see what has gone on in these markets since the last time I have talked about it. What are some upside and downside price targets for these tokens, as well as some key price levels to be paying attention to in order for these coins to go either direction. I'm going to be giving you guys what I'm doing in this video, what I'm personally doing in this market later in this video, as well as my personal opinions of this market. So make sure to be staying around for that. Of course, none of what I'm saying here is financial advice. It's purely my personal opinions and speculations. I am not a financial advisor, nor am I an elite trader of any sort, even though I am a profitable trader who's been able to keep most of my profits during the last bear market, and I'm looking to crush it here for the next bull cycle. So you guys feel the same way. If you guys are feeling pumped on this Saturday morning, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into it. All right, so first things first, we're going to take a look into Bitcoin real quick. I mean, it doesn't usually do too much over the weekend, but, just to do a very quick recap and do a more medium-term outlook for Bitcoin here, okay? So come over here to the weekly time frame. We had the past 2 weeks has been great. Okay, I've been trading leverage longs mainly for the past 2 weeks, and it has been better than usual profits than before. Okay, so I am a short-term trader, right? I no longer just buy and hold spot longs, right? I've done that earlier this year. I've done that before. Nothing wrong with it. Especially if it's in the bull market. Currently, I think we are starting to be in a bull market because we have broken out of this long-term resistance at about that 32K area. I've been talking about this area because this is a cup and handle, right? We have not been able to break out of this 32K area since we have dropped below it since mid last year, as you guys can see here on this weekly time frame. Now, since the price action has broken out of this cup and handle, the measure move here would be just right underneath 50K here. So still some way to run. I do expect some resistance coming at about 39K because of these past candle wicks right here, right? Starting from January of last year. As you guys can see, these candle wicks are basically where short sellers have came in or sellers have sold. And this time around, if I was a trader, and I am a trader, right? I'm a short-term trader. I'll be looking at these levels to be taking profits and, coming out and reevaluate before opening more long positions, right? That is just my view because I no longer just buy and hold. I trade this very short term, right? Even though I don't really trade Bitcoin and I trade mainly altcoins, I really follow what Bitcoin is doing first. Okay, and if Bitcoin is to pull back at these levels, that's where I'm looking to, exit my positions, my long positions, right? That is not to say, even though we are in a bull, what it seems to be a bull market here, that's not to say I would not open short positions as well, especially for quite a bit of these altcoins that have pumped very hard at resistances with bearish signals or patterns, okay, I would not, I would not short those, okay? I would definitely look into shorting those, right? If given the appropriate setups as well. It's just that I'm mainly going long, right? Especially if I'm trading with the more recent Bitcoin trends. Now, let's take a look into what could be happening here on the 6-hour time frame, because we talked about this yesterday. So I talked about this yesterday. It looked like, on the lower time frame here, there was a failed cup and handle pattern. It failed, right? It just broke through that rounded bottom pattern there. Came down to the 6-hour 21 SMA. I did say that chances of a bounce here at this moving average, because it's a pretty well recognized moving average, at least based on my observation, right? And it did get that bounce. It did break out of that falling wedge pattern, which usually break to the upside. Okay, now we are basically right back where we are at right now, above 34K. So let's see if this forms another cup and handle, right? It does have to come back up here to retest about 35.2K area. So let's see if that happens, right? Now let's go ahead and go to ANKR. ANKR here, currently about 2.2 cents area. Let's go ahead and come over here to the 3-day time frame, because this is basically where we left off at last time. Talked about this cup and handle pattern, resistance at about 2.1 cents area, okay? Broke out of this cup and handle pattern, still there, moving very slowly. I mean, this has been, a very slow moving token at this time, okay? I've seen this thing move like crazy back in 2021, but I mean, this is also why, this is also, not the type of market where I would, at least, before these 2 weeks, this is not the type of market I definitely would not buy and hold anymore. So, I have held through a lot of this year, taken some profits, more than offset some losses, but it's still a, I don't think it was the market to buy and hold. In a bull market, yeah, I mean, that's great. But then, at least before these 2 weeks here, before these past recent 2 weeks, it was not a great time. You guys let me know how your buy and hold positions are doing, right? So that's a lesson I learned and started going into more short-term trading. And now that I am, a lot more consistent on my short-term trading, I might even, I'm most likely going to be continuing short-term trading into the bull market. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what's going on here. It did break out of this cup and handle pattern, 3-day time frame. The measure move here out of this breakout would be about 2.5 cents area. Okay. Now, let's take a look into some smaller time frames here and see if we can get any kind of clues on what could be happening here. 4-hour time frame, this looks like it could be building another cup and handle here with the resistance or the neckline to be about 2.3 cents area. But you definitely do want to consider possibly getting rejected at about 2.325 cents from this wick right here. But what I'm seeing here, my best guess is that this is a cup and handle. Okay, it's not a fully developed cup and handle, right? You still need the price action to come up here to retest about 2.3 cents. Okay. If that forms, which looks like it most likely will, then that is, that's usually a bullish pattern here. Okay. On the higher time frame, weekly time frame, what I'm still looking at here is the breakout of this falling wedge pattern, which is still active. Even though the price action has basically broken out and took forever to basically do anything, even dropped quite a bit, right? Measure move would be about 5.2 cents area, okay? 5.15 cents area, okay? Something like that. In that range, okay? And then also this double bottom here is still active. which will give you a measure move of about 3.9 cents area. Now, measure targets are estimates only, okay? You guys should verify what I'm saying here. All these trading concepts I'm throwing out here, falling wedges, cup and handles, measure moves, it's all free public knowledge. Use ChatGPT or Google. You guys can verify what I'm saying here and then just basically chart this on your own, because that's probably the end game, is that you can actually be able to just wake up every morning and just basically chart these on your own and not really have to listen to anyone else's opinions, but just form your own opinions, right? Now, let's take a look into some key price levels to be paying attention to. 3-day time frame, 3-day 20. This is the weekly time frame. Excuse me. Weekly 21 SMA. Since we have not gotten a weekly candle close on top of this yet, it will still be resistance in my opinion. That's about 2.2 cents area. The blue line, gray line right here. Weekly 50 SMA, 2.5 cents area. The weekly 200 SMA is way out there. 4.3 cents area. Now, these are just some of the key resistances you should be paying attention to. You guys can repeat the same exercise for daily, 3-day, monthly timeframes. These are the timeframes I consider to be bigger timeframes, or whatever timeframes you guys are interested in, even on the lower timeframes as well. Now, let's take a look into some key support. Okay, daily 21 SMA at about 2 cents, 2.5 cents. No. 2 cents area. Okay, the blue line here. Daily 50 SMA also at about, it's very close. They're at about that 2 cents area. Okay, give and take. The gray line here, right? You guys can also take a look into past trading history as well for key supports and resistances. Very important that you guys do that, so you guys know where the price action is likely to bounce or pull back, right? On the time frames you guys are interested in. Let's go ahead and go to ApeCoin. ApeCoin here. Weekly time frame, talked about this. Still running within this falling wedge. If it breaks out, within the next couple of weekly candles, I think it's still reasonable here to have the measure move based on this around this week. If it doesn't break out, then just move the measurement along the upper trend line, down along the upper trend line, right? Then measure move here is going to be about 9.5 cents area, okay? This price action is still close to the bottom of the pattern here. Let's take a look into what has happened since last time. Last time I said that there was a falling wedge pattern, broke out of it. It hasn't met that measure target yet, which would be about $1.85 area, okay? It did get above the daily 50 SMA and the daily 21 SMA, so some things are changing because this price action has not gotten on top of the daily 50 SMA for a little while and stayed on top of it, okay? And of course, considering this against the backdrop of what's happening in Bitcoin. Let's take a look into the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, this is a cup and handle with the neckline to be about $1.40 area. Measure move. From this cup and handle would be almost $1.55 area, almost. Okay, let's take a look into some key resistances here. We mentioned key support, which is the daily 50 and 21. Daily 200 SMA, about $2.20 area. Okay, the orange line here. All right, so that's basically what I'm seeing for APE. If you guys do want to continue seeing more of ANKR, APE, or DIONE, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I will bring you guys an update if enough of you guys want to see it. Let's go ahead and go to DIONE token. So what has happened here since last time? Okay, last time I did say that there was a smaller falling wedge on this daily time frame, right? Falling wedges typically break to the upside, and it did, okay? Measure move, it looks like this token has already crushed its measure move, okay? Because measure move was at about 0.24 cents area, okay? And now we're at about 0.3 cents area. It did go as far up as about 0.36 cents, okay, about there. And then daily, you're basically it's above all the major moving averages on the daily time frame. So those are going to be your support levels. Daily 200 SMA, 0.27 cents area. Daily 21 SMA, 0.21 cents area. Daily 50 SMA, 0.195 cents area. Okay, those are going to be your key supports on this time frame. Continue to do that for the 3-day, weekly, and monthly time frame to find those moving averages. Very important. Let's go ahead and come to the weekly time frame because there is a bigger pattern that is in play here. It's a falling wedge again on this weekly time frame. Going to adjust for some of those bottom candles here on the bottom trend line here. That should not affect the measured target. Now, this is a bigger falling wedge pattern. If it breaks out by the week of December 4th, the measure move will give you at about 0.76 cents area, okay? If it doesn't break out by then, move the measurement along this bottom trend line, assuming that this pattern stays intact, okay? If it breaks out sooner, you can adjust the measurement to up along this upper trend line, then that should give you a higher measure move, obviously, right? So that's basically what I'm seeing for DIONE token. Just very quick, right? Very short and simple chart. Now, that's basically what I'm seeing for all three of these tokens here. If you guys do want to continue seeing more of these tokens updates, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment. I will bring you guys an update if enough of you guys want to see it. I can even come down here to the 4-hour time frame, see what could be happening here. Okay. So this looks like a rounded bottom. I mean, it could be forming a possible cup and handle because it starts with cup and handles start with rounded bottoms. That is just a very rough estimate. Of course, it's not a validated pattern right now, but that's just based on my best guess. Okay. So that's basically what I'm seeing for these three tokens. And that's it for this post. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.